You earn so much, and you're not going to help us? At the door stood my mother, Marie Stone, and next to her, my half-brother Caleb Grant slouched on my sofa as if this apartment belonged to him. Sunlight poured through the floor-to-ceiling windows, landing on the creases of his jeans, but it couldn't reach the chill in my heart. Help you? Are you even aware of how we lived after you left? I gripped my coffee cup so hard that it creaked under my fingers. Marie frowned but kept her practiced gentle expression. You don't understand, we really need you. Caleb rolled his eyes, lazily leaning back. You've got all that money. Just help us already. Stop pretending. At that moment, I felt transported back to my childhood, to the night she walked out. I was 9, sitting in a cold kitchen, hearing the door slam behind her. Dad did his best to hold us together, flipping pancakes and wiping tables with his rough hands, while I stacked shelves at the corner store, clutching a few coins to buy dinner. I was no longer that forced-to-grow-up little girl. Today, I was a senior data analyst at a top tech company in Orlando, earning far more than she could imagine. But she didn't know, I had been preparing for this day for a long time. Years of struggle and triumph. By the time I was 13, I understood a harsh truth. The world wouldn't make way for me. Dad ran a small diner from 6 in the morning until midnight, often ending the day in the red, and our fridge echoed with emptiness. I secretly handed him the money I earned from the corner store, and each time he accepted it, it was with gratitude and silent resignation. At night, I hunched over the kitchen counter doing homework, my fingers roughened by work, forcing myself to smile and telling myself it was only temporary. I memorized every formula, every dataset, every trick I could find online. At school, I joined math clubs, competitions, and grabbed every opportunity for achievement. I knew only grades and scholarships could pull me out of poverty and humiliation. In college, I relied on scholarships and multiple part-time jobs, waiting tables at the campus diner, sorting files as an office assistant, cleaning offices on weekends. I woke before dawn to deliver newspapers, cycling through rain or heat, and studied data analysis late into the night, my body and mind near breaking. Every drop of sweat was an investment in my future revenge. Every time I remembered Caleb's superior smirk or my mother's casual abandonment, I vowed, one day they would see my worth and pay for what they had done. I also learned to be meticulous. I tracked expenses, optimized my study schedule, and even coded small programs to monitor my bank balance and bills. These small habits weren't just survival, they were training for control. By graduation, I had secured a full scholarship and an offer from a top tech company in Orlando. I moved into a downtown apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows, each piece of furniture selected by me, every detail belonging to me. Dad beamed with pride at my success, and I began sending him monthly support, fixing the diner, buying a new fridge, repairing his car. But the sudden appearance of my mother and Caleb hit me like a heavy blow, crashing through the life I had painstakingly built from childhood. Revenge and justice. Julia, you're being selfish. Marie's voice cut sharply through the cafe, drawing curious glances from nearby tables. I sat across from her, palm pressed against my coffee cup, my heartbeat slowly steadying. I never acted on impulse. My revenge was always calculated and calm. She thought I was still the angry little girl, that I would crumble at her tears or Caleb's bullying. She was wrong. First, I verified their methods. Login attempts, forwarded emails, bank access logs, everything was documented. I called my lawyer, Mark Sullivan, organized the evidence, and filed for a long-term restraining order. The court reviewed it immediately, prohibiting them from coming near my home. Next, I reinforced my digital defenses. Bank accounts were set to two-factor authentication, transaction alerts sent to encrypted email, phones secured with monitoring systems. I even added extra monitoring software on my home Wi-Fi to flag any unusual device attempting to connect. Every unauthorized attempt was blocked, sending a clear message. Any violation would have immediate consequences. They persisted, trying threats, tears, and Caleb's taunts to force me to give in. I responded calmly, recording and archiving every call, text, and visit. My lawyer acted swiftly, filing additional court motions to ensure any further violations would carry instant legal penalties. At the same time, I shared the story selectively with their social circle. Marie's network crumbled overnight. Friends began questioning her motives. Family members, realizing her manipulations, cut ties. Caleb's peers, seeing his arrogance in front of me, distanced themselves. The confidence they had built on lies and intimidation was shattered by reality. The most devastating blow was, I offered no mercy. Every interaction was calculated, every conversation strategic. I would listen, let them speak, but never lose control. One day, Marie pleaded over the phone, "Julia, I was wrong. We really need you." I looked at the screen, eyes cold as steel. Caleb stood beside her, face twisted, hands trembling. Their voices quivered, arrogance replaced by desperation. The pressure they had once exerted on me was now fully reversed, falling squarely on them. Meanwhile, I expanded my victory beyond protection. I secured my father's and my own assets and founded a charitable organization to support underprivileged children, offering scholarships and mentorship programs. I worked with friends to design a website, coordinated local events, and built a small but effective team. Every detail was precise, every decision deliberate, a reflection of the life I had clawed for myself. Marie and Caleb moved to a small town, socially isolated, their lives cramped and solitary. The money and intimidation they once relied on to control everything had failed them. Any attempts at rebuilding their network failed, as word of their manipulation spread. I stood by the window, city lights sprawling beneath me, holding my foundation's documents. Dad sat beside me, smiling. "You no longer have to carry the past," he said. I nodded, realizing that real family is chosen, composed of people who respect and stay with you, not bound by blood. That night, I understood the full meaning of my journey. Revenge was not just reckoning. It was self-redemption. Their trembling was proof of my years of effort, planning, and wisdom, and I finally was free to be the master of my own life.